You locked that.
What happened?
My
volume? I don't know. It don't lock. I'm at the hotel and I'm just in this business center because the girl I'm with, I didn't want to be in the room.
It's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine. No, I understand.
Yeah, we live right now. We'll be right back, y'all.
Okay.
Shout out the whole Team RBG movement.
I think that is fucked up.
We're about to take this trip to Cali real quick.
This what they afraid of. Got it off the muscle, stayed down till I came up. Fat laces, fit fresh, shuts, gang affiliated, not at all, so don't claim one. Got game from them niggas and I seen some. Switch lanes, hitting figures, yeah, they went dumb. Got trained by the realest, but behind bars, dropping niggas southpaw. Hey, little did they know, we been plotting on the low. We been stacking up our dough. If you know, you know for sure. Then you ain't gotta be told. I've been keeping my pistol sharp and the bloopers in the flow. Get in order. Calling all soldiers forward.
Say what?
Calling in locked and loaded. Gon' get it in cause we on one. Gon' get it in cause they owe us. Say, this is what it sound like. When the spirit get up in you when it feel right. When you twisting up your fingers for the right fight. Bang on the system, gang bang for this real life order. What the gang need is a message in the music if they gon' speak. Next one up to do it, yeah, that's on me. Drop down, you in the presence of a queen, get in order. Yeah, we forward motion, pull up, straight West Coast in. This that pure uncut shit, don't just rush it, micro dose it. Yeah, we forward motion, pull up, smoking, straight West Coast in. This that pure uncut shit, don't just rush it, micro dose it. Say, this what they afraid of, boss with this shit. You don't know where I came from. You don't know what I done did. What I didn't do, nigga, what I didn't choose. When I had to duck, when I had to stick and move. When it weighed a ton, when I had to tell the truth. When it's said and done, doing what you gotta do. When the game is showing proof, niggas act a fool, get in order. Hey, little did they know, we been plotting on the low. We been stacking up our dough. If you know for sure. Then you ain't gotta be told. I've been keeping my pistol sharp and the bloopers in the flow. Get in order. Calling all soldiers forward. Calling in locked and low.
Once again, it's the Team RBG Green Gumbo Mix Joint.
Gon' get it in.
Let's go.
Order. Say, this is what it sound like. When the spirit get up in you when it feel right. When you twisting up your fingers for the right fight. Bang on the system, gang bang for this real life order. What the game need is a message in the music if they gon' speak. Next one up to do it, yeah, that's on me. Drop down, you in the presence of a queen, get in order. Yeah, we forward motion, pull up, smoking, straight West Coast in. This that pure uncut shit, don't just rush it, micro dose it. Yeah, we forward motion, pull up, smoking, straight West Coast in. This that pure uncut shit, don't just rush it. Say, this is what it feel like. When the spirit get up in you when it feel right. When you twisting up your fingers for the right fight. Bang on the system, bang, bang for this real life.
Hey, peace and love. Black power for everyone.
Music if they gon' speak. Next one up to do.
All right. Peace.
Peace.
Welcome back to the Warrior Scholar Podcast. I am your host, Kofi Piesie. I am a writer, author, a publisher, a content creator, a music producer, amongst other things. Today we have two beautiful guests on the panel today. So could you queens briefly introduce yourself for those who may not know who you are?
Go ahead, sis. You my elder.
Ashe. I'm Queen Akilah Yohei-Ra. I'm from Orangeburg, South Carolina. I'm a member of Team RBG. And I like to do the daily Nayan Sasam with my sister here, Queen Zoona. We tag team it every other day. So I'm excited and happy to be here. Thank you.
Ashe. I am Zoona Haki Maat. I am out of Philadelphia. Philly is his own place, so I don't even bring up Pennsylvania.
Hometown.
Okay. The love is there. I'm a revolutionary mama. absolutely a member of Team RBG. And here locally, community activist and supporter of the North Philly Peace Park on the agricultural front, free to land.
Son say PA all day. Peace, son.
Yes.
All right. So before we get into the interview, I always have to run down a few definitions real quick. A warrior. A warrior is a soldier, combative, one who wages war, a person engaged in experiencing warfare. Broadly, a person engaged in struggle or conflict. A person a scholar, a person who attends a school or study under a teacher. A person who has done advanced studies in special fields. A learned person, a holder of scholarship. A person who studies a subject of great detail, especially at a university. My perspective, when you combine the warrior and the scholar together, you get the warrior scholar. So my perspective, a warrior scholar is someone who is well studied, waging war against mistruths, pseudoisms, and willing to stand on the battlefield against institutions and platforms that promote that. A warrior scholar is someone who is on a mission for the truth, for accurate and sound information. A warrior scholar is one who is disciplined, good characters, morals, and willing to fight back against those who use information dangerously. So that is what a warrior scholar is. And these two on the panel are definitely warrior scholars in their own right. So every person, no problem. Every person that comes on the panel, they always ask this question. This question will never change. In who are some of you all's warrior scholars, past, present, who have most shaped your personal development, activism, and worldview?
I'm gonna defer to Queen Zoona. You go first. Now go ahead.
I love it. Ashe. I feel like first I have to say, as far as my worldview, I would have to thank my ancestors for that, because I had a military experience that I feel like was majorly a part of my awakening. And I only could have had that experience with their guidance, right? As far as people, on the activist front, I'm going to have to say Fannie Lou Hamer. Yes, very, very hardcore in my spirit. Malcolm X and Dr. Khalid Muhammad. And I think that that's just more so the energy that they embody as far as being outspoken and in the front line. That's definitely energy I resonate with. As far as personal warrior scholars, I got to go with Baba Baruti. I've been learning a lot from Baba Baruti over the past few years. And I always have love for Dr. Amos Wilson. That grew my mental view, gave me a lot of mental growth. So, yeah.
Go wrong with
none of it. Nothing wrong with none of it at all. I love Baba Baruti, especially now that we're reading this book daily. I have to give a good ashe to my Baba, Brother James, because Brother James was the one who gave me the book. He just transitioned a couple of days ago, so he's been liberated from this place, you know, and he can move in power now on another level. So I give ashe to Brother James. But for me, I've been blessed because I got an auntie who's a powerful voice of resistance. Pam Africa is my auntie through my previous marriage. She's my children's blood aunt. But you know, she's taught me. When I was a child, I used to hang out with her sons, Kevin and Charles. And one of the things she said over the years, you know, she says that liberation isn't just a metaphor. It's not just a word. It's a responsibility. You know, it's a responsibility. We have a responsibility. We can't forget. We can't forgive. You know, that's one of the things us as Black people, we forgive and we forget all day long, every day about stuff that people have done, things that they have done. You know, we can't forget. We can't forgive, to be honest with you. We got to continue to fight. We got to continue to fight. We got to continue, referring Baba Mumia Abu Jamal, his unjust incarceration, and we got to fight. And those words have kind of guided me throughout my years. And so, Baba Baruti, like you said, Fannie Lou Hamer, I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. These are my favorite lines. Ella Baker, is another one. Dr. John Henry Clark, I'm so grateful I have a picture with him, just being a part of ASCAC, Francis Cress Welsing. It could go on, Queen Mother Moore, Dr. Marimba Ani, Yorugu, so many of the unnamed griots, from our communities, where we live in Buffalo, where I live, there's so many people. I'm going to say Shango. I know Shango. Shango is my buddy. At the end of the day, Brother Shango was my buddy. I met him over a decade ago. Me and him done a lot of work together. I done got kicked out of organizations being with Brother Shango, standing on the corner holding up our flag, talking about the 4th of July. So I'm going to say Brother Shango has definitely inspired me over the years, especially when it comes to, he's an everyday scholar warrior for me. So just talking about nation building, it's not just talk. The fire of urgency, it fuels under this whole thing of state of Black emergency that we're under right now. So I can say that for now. But my husband is another one. But that's a whole nother kind of story. Yes.
Yes.
Yes, definitely. We can't go wrong with none of those. A lot of those people that y'all named are definitely some of my warrior scholars. I've definitely read a lot of their literature. They actually mold and shape my perspective and also my worldview as well. So shout out to those individuals that you named.
Yes.
All right. Queen Azuna and Queen's question is for both of you. Everybody that comes on this platform, a lot of people have names, and I be wanting them to break down their different names because there's power in names and the tradition and the culture that we come from, African culture and tradition, there's power in names, right? And people and the community is involved in naming a lot of these individuals, and a lot of the names is tied to their destiny, it's tied to the work that they're going to do coming up. So can you please, both of you, can you break down the meanings behind your name and how it reflects your identity and your mission?
Okay. All right. I guess I'm going. All right. I'm going to go. Sister Queen, I'm going to go. So Zoona is my chosen name. No one gave me that name, I guess, but the spirit of the ancestors just was laid on me one day that I needed to walk more in my African spirit and find myself a name that I felt like fit. One, who I am, the characteristics of me, and 2, for the work that I do. So Zoona means truth in the Bantu Chichua language. I don't know how I found that. I'm not even gonna lie. I just was going along searching, and that gives feminine to me. I'm not certain if it's a feminine name or word, but it gives feminine to me. And so to balance that, I was in search of something to give, my name balance, right? So Haki is a Swahili name, a name used in the Swahili language, and it means righteousness and justice, which I feel like aligns obviously with me always practicing the principles of Ma'at and wanting to embody that. So that's where I get Zoona Haki Maat.
Thank you. Okay, what about you, Queen Akilah?
Okay. Well, the meaning behind my name, there's a woman in the community in Buffalo. Her name is Queen Halima. Queen Halima, she's the one who goes around giving everybody a name. And one day she came up to me and, she said, I like you, and then I got a name for you, but I want to know if you're going to receive it. And I said, well, what's the name? She said, Akilah. I said, well, what does that mean? She said, Akilah means illuminated one, a person who brings light. And it always resonated with me, that term, it also means intellect. So just being a reflection of both intellect and divine light, Queen Akilah, it carries that Swahili meaning of intelligent one. So I kind of live by that truth. Also, just the fullness of my name, Queen Akilah Yohe-Ra, and then I stuck on there in Zofu. It kind of brings together deities of African and cosmic forces. So we got Yemoya, who is my mother. She owns my head in Yoruba. That's my mommy. And then there's Oshun and Oya. Oya, who I've always loved and had an affinity for Oya. So when you look at Queen Akilah and then you see the Yohe-Ra part, the Y-O-H-E, that's Yemoja or Oya or Enoshun. Then I love Heru. She's the one with the sun disk over her head right there. And then besides her, Ozuli Dantor. And then there's Ra, the sun god. So I have all of that coming together. Of course, I was born on December 27th, which is Kuji Chagalia, which is self-determination, which means I'm in myself. So I did that for me. And as that, I live by those principles of Kuji Chagalia. And so I name for myself, I speak for myself. So that's how that came to be, and I stuck with it, and I'm sticking with it. Yes.
Beautiful, beautiful. I appreciate both of you.
I
breaking down your names. And, I try to tell people it's important, when we're naming our children, it's important to name their children that actually means something and also that is connected to, their roots, what I'm saying? And so I appreciate y'all for breaking that down. Because now we naming our kids car and concrete and leaf tree and and all kind of craziness. So I appreciate the breakdown and the explanation behind your names, right? And so this question is for you, Queen Akilah. Can you share your experience attending if I'm saying it right, Cassius College?
Oh, Canisius College. Yeah.
College, right.
That's actually a Jesuit Christian college.
Yes,
going to Canisius was both enlightening and also isolating for me. I was a religious studies major. I pursued the knowledge of God. That's just me. I like learning about, the divine, and, not through dogma, but through study, observation, self-reflection. I just wanted to, understand the divine through my own lens, through these, my own self. And the journey kind of opened me up. It just opened me up. It opened the door for deep research and critical thinking while I was going to Canisius, and because it's predominantly white, a PWI Jesuit institution, it was a double-edged sword to me because I'm Black and I'm Black power all day, every day. And just, I went there as an observer, not really a participant. I collected tools. I got things that I thought I was going to be able to use for something else. And that's just how I built my own table, not so much to sit at theirs. So it wasn't Canisius that shapes me. It's the fire in me that shapes me. And I refuse to be shaped by the white Jesuit at Canisius. But, at the end of the day, it had a big name. And at the time, I thought that I wanted to go to the school with the big name. And plus, I was working there. So Canisius, it didn't shape me. It just helped me get tools that I needed to do more work.
Most definitely. I wanted to ask that question. I kind of knew what the school was, but this place. I'm trying to get to know my sisters and the people that's listening now and may listen back to this later on in the archive. I just always feel like, just trying to get to know the person. I think we can connect more to people when we get to know their stories and get to know who they are and where they come from. Right.
And I like to follow my path. For me, life ain't been easy. It's not a cakewalk at all in the sense of the word. And I try all kinds of things just for learning. I'm trying to do something different, trying to do something more that wasn't done for me. So I'm trying to bring my children and my grandchildren and all of my posterity to a place, I got stuff to learn. So this is what I'm doing. Canisius was one of those places where, I just had to go and learn, some things and have conversations with, certain people, because it was the people that was going to Canisius, their names was on the buildings downtown Buffalo. So I work with them. So just having connections, understanding where I can navigate and get in and weave myself in and get stuff, because I need to get stuff to bring back to my babies and to my babies' friends and to my other cousins and
resources. Yes.
Resources.
Yes, ma'am. And the camera is covering up there, but I have a phrase. It's called "As I learn, we all learn." So I live by that phrase, and so that phrase comes from each one teach one. It's a spinoff from each one teach one. So I live my life by that. So I'm going out in this world, and the more I'm tapping in and educating myself on certain things and putting myself in position in certain places and putting my face in a place in certain spaces. And I'm learning these things so I can take it back to my people and teach them, because that's how we was able to get a grip and get ahead on things in the past as well, through each one teach one. Because at one time in this country, it was illegal for us to read and write, right? So, I follow the model of W.E.D. Du Bois and Alex Cromwell and Carter G. Wilson, who was a part of the American Negro Academy. And that was something that they believe in, was each one teach one, to go in and get this education wherever we can get it and learn certain things and then bring it back to our people, right? So most definitely. So Queen Zoona, this is for you. What is your current, because I noticed you like to read. I'm an avid reader myself. So what are you currently reading, and how has literature played a role in your growth as a revolutionary and an educator?
Okay, that's a good question. Currently, I'm reading Mama Marimba Ani, Let the Circle Be Unbroken. And I think that I've been on a spiritual read recently, because right before that I was reading Jambalaya. And I think things just come together, right? How they supposed to. And for me, reading and like the love of reading started very early. My mom will tell you that she feel like I wear glasses because I was reading in the dark in the middle of the night.
In the womb.
Listen, okay. And so, I remember being young and being one of my first peers to read, like early in education, and a teacher allowing me to read to the class, right? And so I think that experience also built me up to feel like I can teach. Later on, understanding the power of education and maybe me learning things ahead of other people and being able to share the information. And I think we all know, right? They say if you want to hide something from us, you put it in a book. And I'm like, I got to get at it. I need to know what's in there. I'm a truth seeker. So anything really that I make time to. I don't want to say that I get time to, because I have to make time to read, especially as a mother. I have to be intentional. So I think literacy for me is a big thing. And I always encourage people. Sometimes I feel like we feel uneducated, and so we don't speak in certain spaces. But I'm like, if it's ever something I say or that you hear that you don't know, look it up. You look it up, and when you learn that, you figure out how to use it in a daily, on a daily basis. And so I think we just have to continue to encourage each other to learn, be open to learning and sharing that there's things that you just don't know. Somebody's supposed to help you.
Right. Yes. Right. We'll never know everything. We're going to be forever learning until we leave this plane of existence. So, yes. I told you could be I don't know if you into that book narration. You read a lot doing, you're reading and recording. So I say, you got a good voice for book narration. I do something called immerse reading. And immerse reading is, I've been an avid reader for the last 13, 14 years. I'm a writer. So I'm always reading, and I'm a publisher. So I'm always reading something, whether it's I'm writing something of my own, reading somebody else's material, reading my own books, or reading somebody else's manuscript that I'm actually putting together to publish for them. But immerse reading is something that I found that was real good for people such as myself and others who loves to read but does not, but slow reading things. Like I love to read, and I love to try to hurry and finish a book and start on the next book. So immerse reading is audio book. So listening to the audio book and reading at the same time. It's called immerse reading. Okay. So it helps you to comprehend it a little bit better because you're listening and you're reading at the same time. And you're able to finish a book because the audio book is set at a certain pace. And even you can speed it up a little bit where you can start speed reading, hearing it, and you're reading yourself, you know what I'm saying? And that helps me out a lot to finish a book.
I like
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know I was doing that. You just gave me the term, immerse reading. But that's
Immerse
how I
reading.
read Jambalaya. I read it with the audiobook.
Yes. Yes. I have Audible account listening to all that. Yes.
Oh, I love it.
Yes.
Dozens of books over and over. Some of them you get to listen to 2 and 3 times, and you catch something new each time.
Every time.
Okay.
And you're in a different space inside yourself. Certain things stand out more, when you're reading them and listening to the immerse reading. Yes. Yes. I sleep with some of the books too when I can. I put a book on in my headphones and just listen as I go to sleep, and it just downloads, and I love that. I totally love that. Yes. Yes.
Yeah. Tell me when you get through with the book, what is it, Power Circle? I can't remember. I read the book years ago.
Let the Circle Be Unbroken.
Yeah, Let the Circle Be Unbroken. I read that book maybe about 5 years ago. I read that book. So let me know how you like it when you finish.
Yes.
You make me want to go back and jump in it because it's not a real big read. So you make me jump back into it and read it myself.
Yeah.
Let's see. Reading is fundamental, but comprehension is essential. Most definitely.
Absolutely.
Yes. And immerse reading, for me, I'm speaking just for me, that is also can help with your comprehension as well as you're listening to the audio book and reading at the same time, right? Hassan says she did. Okay. I might have to give me a
look for that.
And shout out to everybody in the chat. Y'all please like and share the show. Please like and share the show.
Yeah, like and share it.
Yes. And if it's your first time,
talk to us, ask us questions.
Yes, and they say ask questions as well. I always try to, when people put stuff in the chat, I make sure I don't go over your question. I'll ask the questions. And if it's your first time on the platform, please subscribe to the channel. Please subscribe to the channel. And if you enjoy this interview, please share it with those who you think will enjoy this information as well. So this question is for both of you. So what do the colors red, black, and green represent to your personality? And how do they inspire you to work within the liberation movement?
Go ahead, Queen.
I'll jump in. Yeah, I'll jump in because, I gotta be honest about something. I'm 56 years old, be 57 this year. And I didn't really always know what the colors red, black, and green was. I was a grown adult. Abiba Fahodie, Baba Oba Wajumi. I see you there. I didn't always know. When I first came to Buffalo back in 2003, I was totally unaware of the true meaning behind the red, black, and green. I didn't even know who Marcus Garvey was. I ended up self-taught. I was self-taught in Black culture, before I got there. But I got to give deep gratitude again to our good brother Shango, because he helped guide me towards clarity and cultural alignment by he had Cometflix. It was like a movie platform or whatever. He had videos upon videos. I done got Bobby Hemmett. I done got some food. I done got a little bit of everything. But when it comes down to red, black, and green, I didn't know. But now, everywhere, you ain't gonna catch me dead or alive without something red, black, and green on. This ring got the green, the red, and the black in it. It's red, black, and green, ruby, whatever the black is, and the green, emerald, whatever. I forgot what opal. I forgot what the black is, but nonetheless, they mean everything to me now. Red is for the blood of our people. We our blood was shed, our blood, sweat, and tears on everything. And black is for us. Our lives matter. They made a thing, Black Lives Matter, but yeah, we matter. We matter. And it is beyond the slogan. It's beyond that thing. So. Green is for our land, where we're from, where we were stolen from, we were trafficked from. We got to reclaim our land. I've been back. If you ever get a chance to go back, go to Africa, go. If you haven't been, figure out how to get there. Ain't nothing like it. It's life changing. I didn't want to come home. I didn't want to come home. So it's not, those colors anchor all my actions nowadays, and they represent the heartbeat of our Black state of emergency. We got to really get on the pulse of the fact that we are in an emergency right now under this damn administration. We've been under an emergency, but we're really under attack now. We got to figure things out. We got to wear our colors proudly. We got to explain them to our children. I wish somebody had explained that to me when I was a child growing up.
Yes.
You know, but I try to explain that to my grandchildren know. My grandchildren know red, black, and green. Yes, they know. And we got to make sure they know. And we can't mince words with them when we're talking about the red, the black, and the green. That's just all I can say about it. So it means everything to me right now. It represents my personality, it represents who I am, it represents me spiritually. I'm in it to win it for our people, for sure.
Ashe. Bibi for Hodie.
Bibi for Hodie.
The red, black, and green. For me, once I had the knowledge, it represents unity and togetherness, right? It absolutely represents a collective mindset for me, right? Because it represents Pan-Africanism. It's the whole of us.
It's the whole of it.
Right? And a common goal. One God, one aim, one destiny.
One destiny, yes.
And so I think that for me, that knowing is a part of the work that I do in the community, as far as being a mental health advocate, right? I am doing work, connecting the dots for our people to see themselves, right? And I'm showing up in a way that's not how the system shows up, right? When they're talked to about therapy, it's in a context of whiteness, right? It's never African centered. It isn't even just, I feel like living in a city like Philly, it isn't even culturally competent, right? It's specific things that happen here that don't happen other places, right? Or it's happening very few places in America. And so, to have that perspective and to understand that I want to help change people's perspective towards our collective mindset and common goal. And so that's what I do under that red, black, and green flag, and what it means.
Oh, beautiful, beautiful. I appreciate that from both of you. Yeah, I'm the same way. I wear red, black, and green. All of them are my favorite colors. They was my favorite colors before I even know what Pan-Africanism was. You know what I'm saying? Who Marcus Garvey and UNIA was. Those always been my favorite colors. So when, I, got what we say knowledge of self or became aware, you know what I'm saying? That just made it even greater, because you're not going to catch me. If I'm out and I'm dressed up, I got red, black, and green on somewhere. I'm always representing those colors. Those colors are our colors, and they mean so much to a lot of us, that's in this, this movement. How do you both define the roles of women in today's liberation struggle? And what does true leadership and balance look like within that context?
Okay.
Well, I think women are honestly, we're the backbone and the breath of the movement, honestly. I think that, as Black women, we birth nations, It's a lot that we do. What don't we do? True leadership honors the divine feminine. True leadership truly does honor the divine feminine. Women are not how can I say it? Not as subordinates, Women aren't, yes, women, we got good minds. It's shared power, it's balance. Protection without control is like, it's like spaces for our voices to be heard without interruption. That's what it looks like. That men need to listen to us, I believe. The brothers need to listen to us, I believe. And my husband says it all the time. But, it's partnership. It's partnership rooted in respect. It's rooted in strategy. We have good logical minds, good strategic minds. Women can write a strategy to win a war all day, every day.
Yes, I say.
So, we have vision. I really do believe that we are the backbone of the liberation movement. And I just think that, if we were just given half the chance, if we get more opportunity to do more, we can have more, and a lot more can be done if women's voices were uplifted to do the work, for the work. Hear us, man. That's all I'm asking, brothers, hear us. We got insight. When we connect it direct to divine, we give birth. We nurture from the womb. So hear us. That's all I'm asking is for our men to hear us.
Yes, Ashe. I think I have a similar response in that I believe we are the voice of reason
Ashe.
for our justified anger, right? We have righteous anger
Ashe.
and the struggle for liberation. I think that our role from not even that you have to be a mother, right? But as women, we are a child's first teacher. So you can be mothering anyone's children in your walk of life. It doesn't have to be your children. I know two amazing women I do work with here that I send them happy African Mother's Day every year, and they have never birthed children. I love these women, okay? And so I think that we have to show up as educators, right? In the space of once we know ourselves, we have to share that wisdom out, right? We have to encourage, as we encourage our children to grow, we have to encourage the people of our families to grow.
Yes.
I think we have to lean into what women are already inept to do, I think is what I'm trying to say, right? So if we're supposed to be compliments of each other, then there's things that men have to yield to the woman for. That's how things go, and that's how things have worked. And I think we have to get on to what works, right? Brothers have to see that things haven't been flowing. It hasn't been a flow like it needs to. We get in a way of being stagnant, and if it means for us to try something new where outside of the system we put women, kind of in the forefront, and not meaning physically in the forefront, but mentally we think of putting our women as thought leaders, and see where that gets us. I think that's just something that maybe should be tried out at least.
Yes.
I totally agree, and that's following into my next question is historically women have been instrumental in the liberation movement, yet many spaces have been male dominated. What do you believe is needed to elevate the center more women in this work while honoring their voices and their leadership?
I'm gonna jump in because that's a real one right there. I think that we need self-aware African-centered men.
Yes.
We all need to be self-aware, but our men, when they show up in that way, allows, I feel like, us women to be vulnerable and show the side of us that's our strengths, right? Instead of thinking that we need to carry a certain load because we may not be supported by our brothers. I think that when we're showing up as self-aware, that's what will uplift us. We're reflections of each other, right? And even as I mentioned before, we're complements to each other. And I think that that's what needs to be recognized. We're putting us in a space where we're not recognizing that we all have a certain expertise, right? So I'm going to come with a set of skills, and Sister Queen Akilah is going to come with a set of skills, and all of our brothers that are building with us in Team RBG, we all have skills, and we put those things together to build the house and the nation that we need. And that's how we move forward.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm loving this. Historically, like you said, we have been instrumental. And a lot of spaces are male dominated. I'm thinking about my girlfriend Carrie O'Horn, who lost a lot as a result of being in a male dominated police force. She was a policewoman. Her partner was about to kill somebody. She stopped it and she lost her job, not him. We need to shift from hierarchy to harmony. I'm a man, so I'm in control and I'm in charge. No. It's not the high. We need to shift from hierarchy to harmony. We got to call out patriarchy everywhere it is, even within our circles, within our revolutionary circles. There's a lot of patriarchy stuff going on in there, and then we have to intentionally recreate platforms for women to be able to lead and be able to teach and be seen and heard. We got to honor women means not just protecting them from harm, but honoring women also means inviting our full brilliance, recognizing that without women's leadership, there is no liberation. That's only an illusion. You can't, you're looking at, if women aren't at the table being heard, that's smoke and screen. That's not real. That's an illusion. So we have to really, really, really bring harmony and not hierarchy. Okay. Really have to be intentional and call out the patriarchy inside of everywhere we see it, even in our circles, even in our revolutionary circles. We got to look at the fact that we got to start recognizing that without us, there's no liberation. No nation can rise higher than its women. I heard that said. Islam.
Yes. And y'all, and definitely, I hope that y'all able to do that. I really hope that y'all able to do that. Call out when it's patriotic. You Queen Zoona mentioned something about our brothers being more African centered.
Yes.
And I think that any organization, it needs to have an education program. And these things need to be facilitated because if we understand, if we say that we African centered, we Pan-Africanist, our ancestral lineage goes back, we are part of the Isheshe, we're part of Ikumi, we're part of Ifa, we're part of Gulu, Wankuwu, Fataru, etc., then we need to act those parts. Anybody can say they something, but I can say I'm a doctor, but just because I say I'm a doctor does not mean I'm a doctor. I have to be educated in that and develop those skill sets. So a lot of the men, regardless of what they say they are, they still are looking at the world through the perspective of those who have raped, murdered, pillaged this entire world, those who have kidnapped our ancestors. We're still looking at it. That's why I never say that this is a man's world. I never say that. I never say the man is the head of a household, because I understand, I practice African culture and tradition, so I understand the vital role. It was an equal role between the two. The woman was just as capable as doing the same thing as what a man was capable, of doing. And we hold the woman on the highest pedestal because, just like Queen Akilah said, the woman births nations. Without the woman, there will be no nation. There will be no city. There will be no states. Without the woman, Queen Zoona said also, she says that the woman is the teacher. The woman is the first teacher on the planet. She's the teacher. Right. Yeah. So we gotta be able to, give more opportunity to our women. We got to be able to raise our women up. We got to be able to push them more into the forefront. We got to be able to stop silencing the voice, because even with a lot of us men in the organization, we still coming in being indoctrinated. We unlearned ourselves. So a lot of us is coming out of the churches, a lot of us is coming out of the mosque, and we know within those structures of religion, the woman is supposed to be quiet. And then we're out of that consciousness and supposed to be moving out of that consciousness, but we're bringing that into the movements that we're saying we're free of the bondage of these different things. So men definitely have to be educated. You know what I'm saying? Yes. That's why I respect the women more than I respect the women, but I done been in so many different organizations where, it's male dominant and the woman voice is silent, or the woman is afraid to say anything. And I hopeful that you all women that's a part of Team RBG and the other women that see this interview, be more dominant if you have to do, and come out to the forefront and call us out if you need to call us out on this. You're not acting African at all. You're out of your African mind if you're gonna treat me like the way you're treating me. You know what I'm saying? So I hope that you sisters and every other sister that's a part of any type of movement or organization, if you see this hierarchy or patriotic ideology is going on, that you call those brothers or call the whole movement out on that, if because we need you, sisters. We need you.
One of the other things too is that I would like to see if men would call out the other men. When a man see another man not treating a woman right or not lifting her up or doing, men need to stand 10 toes down on making sure men are held accountable for what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Men gotta pull another man's coattails. I straight up see it. Need it. And it helps us too, because when another man stands up to another man, then it lifts us up too, because we be like, oh, okay. Yes.
I agree.
Yes, I'm enjoying this.
Yes, those comments. I love it.
I can't see. I got on eyeglasses. I can't see. I can barely see y'all.
Yes,
I want to see them.
Yes. I'm throwing them up here where you also can be able to see them too. I'm putting it up on the screen at the bottom, so you're able to see what they, what they're talking about, as well as in the what's the name. And also, if you all in the chat, if y'all got a question for the sisters, like I said, feel free to to throw it up in there, and I'll definitely throw it up and definitely ask the sister the question.
And what I said before, men got to start listening to us. They got to hear us. Sometimes men just dismiss us like what we say. Oh, she don't know what she's talking about, and they keep talking like we wasn't even standing there to say anything.
Right.
They got to hear us, they got to stop defending. As soon as we start talking, they want to start defending. No, don't defend, just hear us, and then act on what you heard us say.
Yes.
You heard us say it. Let us speak. First of all, let us speak. Don't defend. Okay. Hear us. Okay. And then act on what you heard us say. Stand up for us when we not in the room. When we not in the room. It's one thing to stand up for us when you're looking at us, because but when we're not in the room, you stand us, hold us down. Stand up for us. Please do. Unlearn the conditioning. Unlearn the indoctrination. One of the things that I can say, I gotta be honest, because I keep talking about my husband, but I love my husband, first of all. And the second of all, before I even knew he was going to ever be anything close to me, I loved the way he looked. My husband looked sharp in the suit. He was like, oh yeah, I love the way brother looked. But once he left that position and doing what he was doing back there, he said, I don't even wear European clothes no more. If I could get away, he gonna wear that African consciousness, he ain't putting on the suit and tie no more. He gonna wear the dashiki. He gonna wear that fila cap. He gonna wear, those things, the show the pants that's ours. So if men can unlearn, take off the damn Jordans, take off the damn Gucci, okay? Put on African clothing made by hands of a beautiful Black woman.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
Stop wearing the other stuff. Unlearn that and love us publicly. Lead by love us publicly. Openly love a Black woman with her. If I take my wrap off and y'all see my locks up under here, love that. Okay? Don't want me out here perming it up and trying to see me with all the extra stuff going on. Love us who we are, the way we were born, the way we were meant to be. That's a problem. That's a problem for us. We got to deal with a lot as it is, but then we got to deal with men who don't want to see us the way we are. And now we got to try to figure out how we gonna look. No. Unlearn the conditioning that's what's beautiful to you. Unlearn that. Oh, my baby's trying to die. And then treat us like the divine beings that we are. We know we're not perfect, but help us. Give us some humility here.
Yes. Yes.
Yes. RBG, no Gucci.
If I cut off, I'm gonna get back on my phone.
Okay.
Yes.
What time it is? 10 minutes. We might make it through. It through.
All right. What advice would you give a black men within our organization who seek to better allies to, well, we already done, we ain't even got, we didn't kind of already went through that already.
Yes.
So how did each one of you come to join Team RBG, and what drew you to align your work with this movement?
Zoona, go first.
Okay. I came to join Team RBG one by invitation, because sometimes somebody got to put you on, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm a little bit of a lot of places all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And I definitely make it a point to reach out and meet and talk to comrades, even if we only know each other by way of this internet highway, right? Just because I think that we need to make connections however we can so that we can build from there, right? With like minds. So by way of invitation, I think that that was because of like prior work I've done, current work that I do in the community. I'm unapologetically race first.
I say
yes.
First,
yes. I believe in the whole of us, right? And so the mission of Team RBG aligns with my mission. It aligns with the values that I have set for myself. And I know that Team RBG wants to shift the perspective of our people who aren't ready, or who aren't aligning themselves currently with Pan-Africanism, who aren't aligning themselves currently with understanding that we need this unity and oneness, right? Team RBG wants to shift that perspective, and I absolutely feel like I have to be a part of that. That's my mission overall.
Okay.
Yes.
What about you, Queen Akilah?
Well, how did I come to join Team RBG? I was also invited because that was the way it went. Brother Shango actually invited me, and I've known him over a decade, like I said. The work I do now, I've worked in food insecurity. I help, farmers. I've done education advocacy. And I align with Team RBG because it matched my own rhythm, like Queen's gonna say. Y'all about what I'm about. It makes sense to me, to be a part of this group, to learn what I'm learning, and to try and share this information with others. Boots on the ground, not the song, but just the work. The strategy in our minds, the love for one another in our hearts. I love Black people. Every one of y'all, every one of us, I love all of us. And I don't want to see nothing but good for us. This movement, Team RBG, it's a movement. And it's rooted in rebuilding our nation, in nation building ourselves back up. So on the strength of Brother Shango, because I love him and I trust him, I came to Team RBG. He called me on, I think it was October 1st. Sis, you got to get on this. You got to get in here. Why, Shango? You going to be there? I'm going to be there. All right, I'm going to be there. All right, I'm coming. And I came on the strength of Shango. And I stayed even after he left. When he left, I'm like, Shango, why are you leaving? How I'm going to be here? You're not here. He said, you got it, sis. You got this. I said, okay, I trust you. So I came on the strength, and I'm aligned because y'all align with what I'm aligned with. I agree with what y'all agree. We won, so that's what it is. It's a unity thing. It's a one thing. So yeah, that's my boots on the ground doing the work.
Okay. Where I want to go, man. What do unity and alignment truly looks like within the Black community? And how can we move beyond conversations into executions, particularly around economic, social, political, and mental liberation? And I'm asking that question is because in a lot of these movements, we always about talking. You know, we'll talk. But we fail to execute. We have a lot of brilliant minds in the organization, but we have no execution skill sets. So we talk and beat a horse to death about certain things that we want to do with, that are good ideals, but we never execute it. So again, what do unity and alignment truly looks like in the Black community, and how can we move beyond the conversation into execution, particularly around economics, socially, politically, and economic liberation?
Okay.
I'm sorry.
I just remove you from it. Just let me know when you're ready to jump on the other side and out.
Yeah, just in case. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Okay. I just got that in the background. You
I'll just set it up just in case. Yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Look, I'm gonna answer while y'all, you know what I'm saying? While we get it together. It's all love. So I think that first and foremost, we have to rid ourselves of individualism. That's a conversation that needs to happen more. We live in a society that wants us to be individualistic. I think that it looks like us maintaining strong family bonds. Right? The family, I think, is the first unit of unity you see.
Yes.
And so that unit for me is the foundation for what we need to build a Black nation. That's the foundation for a Black nation building. And I think continuing to build, we assess our needs, right? In building, we assess our needs. So as far as the different things that we need to create, just like we comfortably get a job because we know what our family needs right now as an individual. Yeah. We have to listen, we have to assess what we need as a nation, as a whole. And so I think the conversation is always on economics. I think that we need to talk about in a social way how we hold on and maintain culture. We have to get back to gatekeeping things if that's what we need to do.
Yes.
Stop inviting everybody to the cookout. I don't even go to cookouts because y'all inviting people I don't want to be there with. So like I think that we know what we need and we just need to build it. I think the issue with execution is that execution is on the other side of fear.
Yes, it is.
So it's a lot of people who even individually don't achieve what they possibly could achieve because they're fearful. It's like being fearful of greatness. Sometimes you just have to step out and do that thing. Yes. And I think that because of how we've been indoctrinated, we don't just do the thing. Somebody can come up with a great idea, like you said, brother, and then the idea is just there. It's just floating around because we don't know how to just step out. We don't know how to trust each other. Right? And that trust is broken down because we're being taught to be individualistic. We got to get away from that. And that's how we continue to build. And that's where we will execute.
Yes. I definitely agree with that. I definitely agree with that. Yes, we are communal people, right? We are tribal people, right? We are community-based people, and we've been taught to become individuals. I got to get the bag. You know what I'm saying? It ain't we got to get the bag. I got to get the bag. I got to come up. It's no we in nothing anymore. It's I. It's always about the individual. What can I benefit from? Not what can we benefit from it, but what can I? And if I alone cannot benefit from it, then I don't want to be a part of it, or I don't want to help that succeed. I got to share whatever the success is off of that. We definitely got to kill individualism.
You're right. I mean, I heard somebody say, I'm gonna go, but not without them. I got a daughter. One of my daughters, or my kids all together, I got one daughter in particular who, whenever I give her something, she run back to give it to the other ones too. She makes sure they get it too. You know, I individually gave her something, but my child would take what I gave her and go give it to her siblings. You know, it's for all of us, mommy. It's not just for me. That was Chelsea. You know, and unity, you know, unity is not just sameness. It's not sameness. It's a sacred alignment. Unity, being together and unified, is a sacred it's an alignment. You know, and it's about knowing our roles in our communities. It's about respecting our differences, whatever they are. You know, it's about commitment and a shared destiny. You know, when you commit to something and you commit to a process or a plan, you commit to the whole picture, the whole vision. You don't just say, okay, I'm gonna take this part right here. Y'all go ahead and do that, but I'm gonna do right here. Now, if I'm going somewhere, I was somewhere today and the lady was talking about, okay, y'all gotta go fight to get this. Now, there was some people say, I'm gonna stay right here and do what we doing right here. They can go fight. I don't wanna do that. No, the goal is, if I'm fighting for you, if I'm gonna go fight for you, I'm gonna fight for you. But I'm not gonna fight in place of you. We gonna fight together.
Right.
So when I was doing education advocacy and parents would come to me with an issue, okay, so now I'm gonna need you to go send this email and tell the whole story. I can't go send you email. You gotta send your email, you gotta tell your story. But bottom line is, I'm gonna be there to fight with you. I'm gonna be right here 10 toes down. So we gotta move beyond talking by building systems. Not just movements. We got to move beyond the talk by building the systems and not just movements. And what that means is co-ops, schools, farms, whatever, healing centers. We need actionable plans, things that we can actually do. And we need shared accountability. We need to share that accountability. If I'm moving over here, I'm bringing my brothers and sisters with me. I'm not going over here just to get mine. We're going to get ours. We're going to get ours. You know, and it requires a structure. Execution requires structure. You know, there's love, discipline that comes with it. Things that we always had when we always going to remember who we are. We got to always remember where we come from. We got to always remember where we going, you know. So when you ask that question, you know, how can we move beyond it? Beyond that conversation, we talk a lot, and I can't stand meetings. And I'm not going to sit on a meeting just to be in a meeting, just for the sake of being in a meeting. You understand? I get up and go. I got other stuff to do, you know. But in that space, because we moving like we moving and we building like we building, I'm gonna sit in that meeting. You hear what I said? I don't like meetings, but I'm gonna sit in this meeting because I love all of us, and I believe in what we're doing. And I think that if we got the structure, the love, the discipline that we've always had, we're going to always be able to work. We're going to always be able to remember who we are. We're going to always be able to, I'm screwing my own brain up, but I know what I'm saying. We know
what you're saying.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
We following you.
But you know, we just got to move beyond the talk. And it's one thing to have meetings, but we got to have meetings that's going to move. There it is. Okay. I'm ready.
All right.
I'm ready.
I love it.
Cut off somewhere. Okay. I got to hold the phone now. So that's it.
Yeah.
That's it. You know, just other work that I've done just with the food insecurity and those things, you know, just the food justice stuff. Empowering programs and cultural restoration projects and all the community organizing and stuff. You know, we got to stay rooted in reality. You know, technology is great. This thing here that we got is great. Technology is a tool to us being together. Nothing replaces us being present. I prefer to be together having these meetings than on the thing, but this is how we got to do it. You know, being able to see my elders and touching, stay in touch with our elders, stay in touch. You know, we got to hold the space for our children to still dream. You know, we got to protect our communities with our own hands.
Says you breaking up a little bit
before it could ever be global. So we got to get home taken care of first. We got to take care of here and right now. Once we get this together, then we can get that together. But we got to do it together. I can't do it. She can't do it. You can't do it, but we can do it. All of us is no greater than one of us. Or you understand? No one of us is smarter than all of us.
Yes. That's Shay.
All right. Well, this is let me see this. You can't hear it? You can't hear it?
You are breaking up too for a little while. Okay, good.
Can you hear us now?
I can hear.
Okay. Okay. We finna wrap it up. This is my last question. Looking ahead, what is do I want to go with that one? Okay, yeah, I'll go with this. And looking ahead, what is you all vision for the next generation of Black women in the movement, and how can Team RBG and others help support that evolution?
Okay. I think for me, as far as what I experienced in Team RBG, we are on that mission. We are doing what needs to be done. Our brothers are showing up to support us with what we feel like matters as women. As African-centered women, we are being heard in Team RBG. I personally would like to see more revolutionary mamas. Okay,
Yes.
In the essence of Mama Betty Shabazz, Mama Coretta Scott King. My favorite modern mama is Mama Afena Shakur. To really bring forth the generation that we need to follow this work that we are currently doing, to pass on the knowledge. I think that we have to create the people, right? The ideas. We have to implant the ideas that we need in the generations to come. Mm-hmm. And I feel like everyone I have had any conversation on a deeper level with in Team RBG is on that. And they support that mission. I think that that's where we all align, right? So my vision is still aligned with what Team RBG, as far as I know, has set out to do. Mm-hmm. And so that's where I'm gonna be, with Team RBG.
All right, I say.
Zoona. You know, I kind of see the same thing you see too. You know, and I also see a future of fully formed, fearless Black women. And we walk in both softness and in power. You know, we don't always have to, swole up at people, but we can walk in softness and in power. We are women who build. We are women who give birth. We are women who bless with our hands. You know, a lot of our women, we pray. You know, a lot of us are praying women. We always got your name before the ancestors. You know, we pray over our families. Mm-hmm. You know, I do. You know, and my vision is for us to have land. You know, we need to own land. We need to have land. We need to grow our food. We need healing knowledge, because there's a lot of ailments and sicknesses. We don't eat right. Yeah. You know, a lot of us, I know sometimes I don't, but we don't eat right. So we need to know how to heal our bodies. We need to learn these things. Yes. And we need to network ourselves. We don't need to be siloed off. We need to know who got what where. Of our sisters all over. I want to get in touch with Sister Kwesi from Baba Obafemi's wife. You know, she knows things I need to know. You know, I need to sit down with Sister Zoona in Philly. You know, wherever you end up in South Carolina, we need to get together and work. You know, we got to become a village again. Mm-hmm. You know, as a people, Team RBG. You know, we are a village in a sense, virtually, but what if we were together in a place? And we grow. You know, we're a place that nurtures, a place that protects, a place that uplifts. You know, we got to invest in ourselves. We got to invest in our training. We got to invest in learning. Mm-hmm. You know, I wish I knew how to farm for real. You know, I go to my little pharmacist stuff, not little, I won't negate it by saying little, but I go to pharmacist groups and I do other stuff with Black women and AG, but I want to learn that stuff so that I can grow food for my family, so I can feed my children. Instead of going to these grocery stores, giving them my money. You know, we gotta also respect the process, and we gotta trust the process, and we gotta clear a path for us, to walk in without trauma. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You know, a lot of our women suffer a lot of trauma. I have unresolved trauma within me that's sitting here right now.
Yeah.
And how I wish for somebody to come and help me through this. I want to be the person that can help. I want to do that for my sisters coming. I want to do that for my daughters coming. I want to
Yes.
teach them what they need to know. So that's where I'm at with it. I see a future of fully formed, fearless black women
Mm-hmm.
who walk both in softness and in power.
Ashe.
Ashe.
I say. Well, that concludes my interview with you, beautiful sisters.
Yay.
I've had I enjoy both of you sisters. Both of y'all remind me of Zuna. Remind me of one of my sisters, and you remind me of one of my aunties. It's just like I'm sitting down with my family, which y'all are my family, and we
Yes,
just
we
having
are
a
Yes.
family.
conversation. We
Yeah.
just breaking bread, and,
Hmm.
picking each other brains and getting to know each
Mm-hmm.
other a bit more. Um,
Hmm.
so I hope everybody that tuned in, you know, um, y'all enjoyed it as well, because I know I enjoyed it. And they always say when you're
Thank you.
having a
I
good
enjoyed it.
time flies. Network is
Yes.
I'm honored. I'm
yes,
so honored to be here. I'm honored to be on the same platform with Sister Zuna, great
mhm,
Queen Sister Zuna, and
yes,
Baba Placey.
Oh, we're
Thank
gonna get
you for.
together. We're gonna get together soon. That's
We're gonna
without a
get
doubt.
together. Yes.
Absolutely. Absolutely,
Ashe.
sis.
Thank you for having us.
Thank
yes,
you.
yes. Can you both give out your social medias if somebody wanted to reach out to y'all for whatever reason? Can you give your social medias out on how they could contact you all?
Okay. Patricia Alinda Elliott or Patricia A.E. King on Facebook is all one thing. Goddess is she on Instagram and TikTok, I think.
Mhm.
I love it. Look, that mean you ain't on there. You gotta say I think.
Because
She
I ain't
on
on it that much.
Yeah, she gotta get on there a little bit. So she gotta get
there.
on there. I am at Zuna the Truth. That's Zuna DA Truth. Uh, I think that's on. I'm really mainly on Instagram. I don't even want to make it like I'm on something else.
Mm,
I can't
Yeah, I be
stand
on
Facebook.
Facebook.
mm,
Facebook, yeah.
So yes, Zuna the Truth. And if you want to check out my mental health page, which as I transition, I got a little transition I'm going through. I will absolutely be getting back to Answer the Bell at Answer the Bell on Instagram. I like to get on there, host my own lives, and make
Yes.
conversation
Yes.
about our state, our mental state,
mhm.
um, and the things that we experience. Because our experience um, is our experience, is our shared experience. Other people don't
Mhm.
experience the world the way that we do.
Mhm.
And so, yeah, I'll be back on there at Answer the Bell and at Zuna the Truth.
Ashe.
Do
Much
you
love.
do you write, Sister Zuna?
Do I write?
Do you write a little bit?
I ain't gonna say I don't. I have. I maybe that's a part of my journey moving forward. I have, but
Mhm.
not currently.
And the reason why I was asking is, I have a magazine called the Silly Magazine, and I put
Mm,
out it's an online magazine, but I do physical copies too. And I started it back in November, so this is the first
okay.
edition. That's my son on
Ooh,
the front color representing the red, black,
yeah.
and green.
I seen that before.
Yeah. This is the second edition. This is a book
Yes.
narrator and an author. They
I
are married,
loved it.
so they have a
Mhm.
business.
Wow.
This is the
Mhm.
third one. This was with Akilah. He's a Pan African mathematician. So
That's my brother right there.
yeah. So he's on the third edition.
Oh,
So
I love it.
That's beautiful.
yeah, and
I
we got
seen that magazine. You shared it with us before, I think,
yeah,
online. You gave us a
uh,
digital. It was a nice
yeah,
publication. I loved
yeah,
it.
yes.
Yes.
And
I love
so
it.
we put one out every other month. So I got one coming out in June, and
Hmm.
then we're gonna put the Black State of Emergency uh edition out in August. I would
Okay.
love. I got a mental health section in there. I
Okay.
would love for you to write a piece in there about the mental health. You
Mhm.
know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
That is
do it.
something that we gloss over all the
Hmm.
time is our mental health. And mental health is you can't do nothing if your mental health ain't intact, right? That, you know, we
Listen.
gloss over that a lot. We talk about so many other different things, but we always skip the mental health part of it. So, you know, I'm just throwing it out there, you know, in August, if you want to, I'll reach back out to you. If you tell me no,
please.
you're still gonna be my sister, I'm still gonna love you, you know.
I
So,
appreciate that.
yes.
Yeah, I'll
But
get with you on that one.
okay. But again, I appreciate you both for coming on. I love both of you sisters. I got to know both of you all a little bit more. You know, I hope y'all reach out. I'll be reaching out to y'all a little bit more too, because I'm trying to get to know more people in Team RBG, and I'm definitely trying to get to know my sisters more, because I, you know, like I said, there would be no us without you, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, and I hope, you know, y'all able to speak up some more. I'm calling out for y'all to speak up more and say, hey, y'all shut up and let us talk. Y'all done said you, Obafemi or Obawajuma, you done talked 3 damn times tonight. Let me get something out. You done talked 3 times. I'm your hand up before me. I
love it.
With y'all watch.
I like,
but, you know,
I enjoy it.
You know, and you know, I'm calling the task out. You know, when you see something, you know, call us. Y'all call us out on it. You know, and I see something, I'm definitely gonna stand up for you, beautiful sisters, as
Thank
well.
you.
Yes.
Much
So,
love.
we out of here, y'all. Peace and Black African power. A biddy for Houdier. Race first. And we'll see y'all when we're first, man. Let's give a round of applause for these sisters, right?
Yes, sis.
Listen to our stuff. Listen to our readings every day, y'all.
Okay,
Some post them up.
Yeah, we definitely is. I'm definitely checking them out. And yeah, man, and we'll see y'all next time when we see y'all. I'm taking a break, y'all. I'm tired of interviewing. I'm tired, y'all. I'm tired. So I'll probably be back in about 3 weeks, but I'm taking me about a 3-week break from
enjoy.
You deserve it.
Yes, I appreciate it.
You deserve it.
Yeah.
So what I want to leave? I want to leave y'all with another sister in Team RBG.
I look forward to the next episode for sure.
Yeah.
So we'll leave y'all with our sister Mental Sequence song, man. We out of here, man, and we'll see y'all when we see y'all.
Mental, new Prince, new track, Reese.
Thank you.
DJ Get Buck, see you, baby.
See, I believe I came from nothing, came up out the mind of none. I came up out that bitch and said I am, yes, you the one. Yes, you the one, I'm the one. I birthed the moon, I sparked the sun. I'm Alpha and Omega, baby. I came to make the waters run. I came up out the waters. 1 cell, 2 cell, 3 cell, 4 cell, 5. I came up out the on the Aces Matrix going live. I came up out the gutter, baby, out the murky waters. Left hand, I'm in round. Come on, baby, be my father. Bust up on the set with set. Priesthood of setness, you shooing out the window. You can smell the indigo. Sipping on chestnut, mad. Tsunami flow, don't be mad. Respect the fall, it's autumn hope. People really wanna know what the fuck they came for. People really wanna know what the fuck they came for. It's the reason I try. It's the reason I cry. It's the reason you forgot. Remember, just ask why. If a reason exists, then the reason is this. If there's no purpose in your reason, then your reason ain't. It's the reason I try. It's the reason I cry. It's the reason you forgot. Remember, just ask why. If a reason exists, then the reason is this. If there's no purpose in your reason, then your reason ain't shit. See, I believe I came from nothing, came up out the mind of none. I came up out that bitch and said I am, yes, you the one. Yes, you the one, yeah, I'm the one. I birthed the moon, I sparked the sun. I'm Alpha and Omega, baby. I came to make the waters run. I came up out the waters. 1 cell, 2 cell, 3 cell, 4 cell, 5. I came up out the on the Aces Matrix going live. I came up out the gutter, baby, out the murky waters. Left hand, I'm in raw. Come on, baby, It be my father bust up on the set with set. Priesthood of setness, you shooting out the window. You can smell the indigo. Sipping on tough nut mad.